Hello Internet, and welcome to this tutorial series on Shopify Hydrogen SEO. In this video, our focus will be on schema markup. Alright, if you open again our browser extension here and we go to schema, you see that we have no schema at all, and that is very bad. It's to our detriment basically, because schema markup are one of the best ways not only to get the feature snippets, one of the top spots in the search results, but also to increase your click-through rate, right? And if you go to the search to the Google Search Central website, and in the section ranking and search appearance, well, you can you can somewhat influence what the user sees in the search results when they search for your product, right? If your product were to rank at the first page, you can influence what they're gonna see, okay, by using the structure data or the schema markup tag. All right, so for example, in this case here, you can see that not only the user is gonna see the product title, they're also going to see the reviews, the average rating, the price, and if the product is in stock, right? All of which can contribute to the user actually clicking and visiting your website. So not having them is a big loss to our business. So we definitely want to add that, and let's see how we're going to do that in the Shopify Hydrogen storefront. So if we go to the documentation in the Remix website, which is the framework on top of which Shopify Hydrogen is built, we see that we can add schema markups. For example, in this case, an organization of a type organization, just by doing this. So let's try and do that. Obviously, we're gonna customize it a little bit. So if we come here to the product meta description, once again, we have been adding a lot of things in the previous videos. So let's add one more thing here, the schema markup, and we visit the page. We open again a browser extension and we go to schema. You see that a schema was added of type organization. The name of the organization is Remix and the website is remix.run, but obviously this is not what we want, right? So we want this to be of type product, because if you go to the schema.org website, which is the official website of the structured markup, you will see that there are different types of schema markups, right? You have products, you have a lot of different schema types, right? So if you check here, if I go again and search for products, you see we have organization, local businesses, and so on. In our particular case, you're interested in product, right? The product is what you have here. So you have a lot of properties that you can add, but instead of building that from scratch, why not get what Google is giving us here already? They're giving us some good examples of ready-made schema markups that we can just copy in our code, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. So let's copy this, okay, and let's try and add it to our code. Let me make this a bit smaller so I can copy the whole thing quickly, like this. Voila. Okay, and in our code, we're gonna just replace this whole section like this with what we just copied. All right, brilliant. And let's see now how it looks like here in our application. Go to schema. See, we have all those beautiful schema added, right? With the product, the name of the product, and so on, the images, the description, the stock keeping unit, and so on, and the brand, the reviews, and so on. All these very useful information that are going to help us not only get the feature-rich snippets at the top of the search results, but also potentially increase our click-through rate. Obviously, these are just data that we just copied, so we need to add the actual products data there instead. So let's start with the name. We're going to put here data product dot title. Yeah, okay. Right, already very looking good. So let's place the description as well with data dot product dot description. Okay, and with those two in place already, we can already see a big change. Okay, so if you go to schema here, you see it's hoodie, and if you go to description, it's exactly what we want. So let's continue. Obviously, for the images, we want that as well to be the right images. So let's do that. So we're gonna grab this like that, and what you're gonna do is return like that node, and then map for each variant. You're gonna return the variant dot image dot URL. All right, that's good, excellent. Hope you're following with me so far. Okay, I'm gonna add here just in case it may be known like that. Excellent. So if you go here, it's not gonna be examples photos, but actually the image is coming from the Shopify CDN. So you can see here in this case we just have one image, so that's why it's displaying this like that, one variant. So if we go here, I was hoping to see a lot more images here, but I think it's just because the product that we're returning here only has, I think maybe we can have we can also pass in the variants here, I think, in the data. I think if we have data and then variants, let's grab that. Oh, the problem is that the variants are just a promise, but I think you get the gist, right? So you can do that. You can await the variants there, but I won't do that now. The brand obviously is up to you. You can go in the constant as well. You can have here export your brand name, or you can probably that will come in the product, right? You can have that in your as a meta field in your product. So if it's defined, let's say we call it like that, let's say data.product.brand, so on. And if it's not defined, we just put let's say our store name, right? Our store name, something like that, store name here. If the product brand is not defined. In terms of reviews, obviously you want to get that from the product as well. Like when you're making your query here, you want to get the ratings as well. It's one of the field, and display them here. The best rating, the rating value, and so on. The author of that product, if that's what, of the author of the review, sorry. So you want to fetch some of your reviews and display them in the rich schema markup. And if you don't want it, a particular section, you can just remove it. So if I comment this one out, let's say we just launched our store and we don't have reviews yet, you don't necessarily need to add that. Same thing for these sections here, right? Some of them are optional, like the aggregate rating. But let's see first what we have here. Schema, you see, I no longer see the review section, right? We no longer see that. And similarly, if we remove the offers here, if we go first here, you can see we have offers. And if you remove here like that, it won't appear anymore, okay? Which also means that if the product ever shows up at the first page, we won't have that as well either added to our schema markup. And the stock keeping unit, obviously you don't want that to be hard coded here like this. You probably want that to come from the product like that, product.sku if you have one. All right, otherwise you probably want to add the product ID here, right? So if I don't have that, you want to add data product dot ID, right? We may want to do something like that instead. Okay, so that's basically it. That's how you add the schema markup to your Shopify Hydrogen store in order to increase your on-site SEO, your rankings, and your click-through rate. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more like this, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers, bye bye.